Good day. I'm Athena Juan, a second year chemical engineering student, and today I'm going to present to you the final requirements for computer applications in chemical engineering, which is the check problem solver. So it is composed of problems from 4 different courses, and I chose physics, analytical chemistry, chemical engineering calculations 1, and engineering economics. So let's start with physics. So the question number 1 is, an airplane accelerates down a runway at 3.20 meter per second squared for 32.8 seconds until it finally lifts off the ground. Determine the distance traveled before the takeoff. So this is the code that we input on MATLAB. So you're going to input the t value, which is the time, v for initial velocity, e for acceleration. So this is the formula, and the answer for distance is 1721.34. So number 2, the question is, a car starts from the rest and accelerates uniformly over a time of 5.21 seconds for a distance of 210 meters. Determine the acceleration of the car. Again, this is the code that we enter in the MATLAB. So display is acceleration, ano yung hinahanap? Then t is equals to time, v is for velocity, t is for distance, and a is equals to this formula. So after you run the codes, the answer for acceleration is 8.10. So next, an engineer, is designing the runway for an airport. Meter per seconds. Assuming this minimum acceleration, what is the minimum allowed length for the runway? Input the acceleration, the initial velocity, the value of final velocity, and this is the formula. So the answer for the distance is 704.17. Moving forward to the question number 4, a feather is dropped on the moon from a height of 1.40 meters. The acceleration of gravity on the moon is 1.67 meter per second squared. Determine the time for the feather to fall to the surface of the moon. So, ang hinahanap is time. You need to input the acceleration, the velocity, and the distance. And the time is 1.68. Now we proceed to analytical chemistry. So question number 1, calculate the concentration of a solution prepared by mixing 24 grams of potassium chloride with 126 grams of water. Express it as mass percent. So the unknown is the concentration. So you need to enter the value of the moles of solute, enter the value of moles of solution. Then the answer is 16. The concentration is 16. Next, question number 2, calculate the concentration of a solution prepared by mixing 24 grams of potassium chloride with 126 grams of water. This time, you need to express it in molality. So, enter the value of the moles of solute, enter the value of moles of solution, and enter the molar mass. So the molality is 0.0025. Let's proceed to number 3. So what is the concentration of the copper ion expressed as molarity in a solution prepared by dissolving 1.25 grams copper sulfate in enough water to give 50 ml of solution? Enter the value of the mass of solute, enter the value of the mass of solution, and enter the molar mass. So the molality is 0.10. Lastly, number 4, a coal sample has a concentration of 24.3 micrograms of nickel. A 200 milligrams of aliquot of this coal is digested in an acid medium, filtered, and brought to a final volume of 50 ml with deionized water. Determine the concentration of nickel in the test solution if a 20 microliter aliquot was analyzed. So we need to find the concentration of nickel. So we need to enter the value of initial concentration, the mass of solution, the final volume, and the value of liter. So the concentration of nickel is 97.20. So let's proceed to the third course, which is the chemical engineering calculations 1. So the first question is, water is flowing through a 2-inch diameter pipe with a velocity of 3 feet per second. What is the kinetic energy of the water in feet, lbf over lbm? The required is kinetic energy. So we need to enter the value of the mass of solution, the value of the volume, and the kinetic energy is 0.14. So on number 2, the density of silver is 10.5 grams per cubic meter. Find the mass of silver that occupies the 965 cubic meter of space. So we need to find the mass. We need to enter the value of density, the value of volume, and the mass is 10,132.50. Next, an irregularly shaped sample of aluminum is put in a balance and found to have a mass of 43.6 grams. The students decided to use the water displacement method to find the volume. The initial volume reading is 25.5 ml, and after the aluminum sample is added, the water level has risen to 41.7 ml. Find the density of the sample in grams per cubic meter. So we need to find the density of the sample. So we need the value of mass, the value of the initial volume, the value of the final volume, and our density will be 2.69. So the last one for the chemical engineering calculations 1 is number 4. Under certain conditions, oxygen gas has density of 0.0013 grams per ml. Find the volume occupied by 250 grams of O2 under the same condition. So we need to find the volume. So enter the value of the mass, enter the value of the density, and the volume is 186,567.16. So last but not the least is the engineering economics. So question number 1, John got $1,200 loan for 2 years. She paid $90 in interest. What is the interest rate? So in the code, they require this interest rate. So we need to enter the value of the interest, the value of the principal, and the value of periods. So this is the formula. So the interest rate is 15. So number 2, determine the simple interest of $500 for the period from January 10, 1996 to October 28, 1996 at 16% interest rate. So this time we need to find the simple interest. So we need the interest rate, which is equals to 0.16. Enter the value of the principal, which is 500. The value of the number of periods, which is 0.7978. And the interest rate is 63.82. The third one is find the nominal rate, which is converted quarterly and be used instead of 12% compounded monthly. The required is nominal rate. So we need the value of the rate and the period of months. Using that formula, again, this one, the value of rate is 0.48 and the period of months is equals to 12. So the interest rate is equals to 12. Last one, a deposit of $495 earns 3% interest compounded annually. How much money is the bank after 8 months? So we need to find the future value. We need the value of interest rate, the value of the principal, the value of the number of periods. And using this formula, we will have an answer of future rate is equals to 504.86. So that's all, and I hope you learned something from my presentation. Again, I'm Athena Juan. Thank you, God bless, and have a nice day.